Hi, my name is Vena. I'm originally from Rio, but I live in Nandi. I love listening to Today FM. Today FM rocks.
Bula, I'm John from Cornabuan, Tapua. I love listening to Today FM. It rocks.
Bula, I'm Teopola.
Bula, I'm Makanisi.
We love listening to Today FM because it rocks in Ba.
Bula, my name is Tisa. I've been listening to Today FM.
Today's hit music on Today FM.
Tonight, Fiji Sevens team falls short again. Ethiopia's overseas get chance to upskill. And 2018 budget consultations begin.
From the studios of FBC Suva, Jackie Spade.
The Vodafone Fiji Sevens side went down fighting 19-12 to a strong South African side in the final of the Las Vegas tournament today. Battling the weather elements in discipline and a fiery second-string South Africans, it was another case of playing second fiddle. Vashnil Prasad reports.
The emotions ran high prior to the kickoff, and it didn't take long for that to be transferred on the field.
Not get that down. Daku Wanga will.
Fiji's favourite friend, the yellow card also followed them in the final, and this time it was Vatemo Ravovo, and the South Africans were not going to pass up in this opportunity.
That passes backwards out of the hand. Whoa, that's play on. Suzwapi goes back in field to Africa. This is extraordinary.
South Africa dominated the second spell. 2 minutes into the game, and Roscoe Speckman played the role of architect for Chris Dry.
It was all Speckman. The 11 to the...
Speckman again proved dangerous as he what's through the Fijian defence and ran in South Africa's third try.
Let's go, Speckman's going to win.
Fiji got some hopes back with this try from Waisea Nadungu.
Kuwanga who gets it back to Nafungu.
An excellent conversion by Osea Kolinisau narrowed the gap to 19-12. One last hope to retain the ball from kickoff went away because of another brain explosion.
Pop not happy with Motenafangi. Okay.
This tournament is going to get the red.
While our hopes of winning blew away in the strong winds of Vegas, fanciers still believe that the Bleed Box can be beaten.
I don't know what's wrong with the Fiji team, what's wrong with them today. These are most of hard tackle.
Of the players, they are very good in running, and I think Fiji should have some people like South Africa.
Well, South Africa is a strong team. Fiji can beat them if they work extra harder.
I think South Africa is a good team. They are starting a long time for the old boys.
It is a challenge for coach Gareth Beiba to field a team who is now 3-0 in as many outings.
And we now join Vashnil live. Vashnil, generally, discipline seems to be the hot topic. And if that is fixed, Gareth Beiba looks as if he has a winner on his hands?
Yes, Jackie, discipline is one of the major concerns in the Fiji Sevens side. As you can see in the last tournament, in the last tournament that finished today, Fiji received a yellow card against Australia, a yellow card against New Zealand, which was Kalunena Soko, and a yellow card against South Africa to Vatemo Ravovo, and then a straight red card to Sevoloni Motenatangi. So, Coach Gareth Beiba, if he wants to win and end his winless run, he needs to work on discipline area, which is one of the contributing factor to Fiji's losses in the current tournament. Also, in an update from the camp in Las Vegas, Sevoloni Motenatangi could miss, or is likely to miss his the Vancouver Sevens because of the straight red card which was shown to him in the final. Apart from that, Captain Osea Kolinisau and Jerry Tuwai are under injury cloud, and they will be seen whether they can recover in time for the Canada Sevens. If not, then Ali Ferretti Vaitokani, who is the 13th man, who was the 13th man in the Las Vegas tournament, and Setereki Bitunayata, who was dropped from the last tournament, could make their return in Canada. Jackie.
Thanks so much for that, Vashnil. Ethiopians living in overseas can now upskill their traditional culture and language online. Ethiopia Affairs Ministry Director Language and Culture, Emi Bainimarama, has confirmed the ministry now has featured some teaching skills on culture and language on their website for the betterment of Ethiopians. Savara Thambor reports.
These are some of the items displayed on the website which promote traditional language and culture of Ethiopians.
There's a lot of viewers that view these programs, these educational materials online, and most of them feel that this is an area where a platform where they can access educational materials on the Itaukei language and culture.
Most Itaukais living in overseas had shown their gratitude towards the initiative and say it will be of great help to them.
The initiative put in place will not only benefit the young generation overseas, as it will be of great help mostly to the parents and guardians.
I believe it's a good idea since it will help us a lot.
An Itaukei dictionary will be also loaded to help those people familiarize themselves with any Itaukei word. Also part of this initiative are sessions on learning Itaukei culture and language for government departments and NGOs. Sabera Tambua, FBC News.
The heavy rainfall that the country is facing is expected to continue until Wednesday. Fiji Met Office Director Ravin Kumar says showers are expected to clear out by Friday. Kumar says the Western Division is getting the full brunt of the wet weather. Rakiraki town was closed this afternoon as it was flooded. Meanwhile, the Fiji Roads Authority says that most roads in Rakiraki, Tavua, Nandi, Ba, Lautoka, Singatoka and Vunise are closed due to flooding. These roads will reopen once the floodwaters recede. Cases of influenza and the common cold are on the rise given the current wet, cool weather that has prevailed across the country over the last months. National Advisor for Communicable Health, Dr. Mike Kama, says this type of cold is a cause for concern in the Asian region. In addition to the flu, the Ministry of Health is dealing with an outbreak of dengue fever with 155 cases confirmed.
And reports have come our way and we've been testing them. Influenza A serotype H3 has been causing some issues in Asia, and we've seen a rise of that as well here in Fiji. So, again, running nose, personal sanitation is quite important. Washing hands, washing face, and so on and so forth. That is the fundamental.
The Fiji Council of Churches believes the right upbringing is key to dealing with incidents of rape and violence against women. FCC President Reverend Tevita Nawandra was responding to statistics that perpetrators of sexual offences are as young as 12. Tokasa Rainima reports.
Fiji's Christian leaders are urging parents and guardians to teach their children about their rights from a young age. Methodist Church President Reverend Tevita Nawandra says the churches themselves are doing all they can.
It is a very difficult situation for all of us in the church and I think the general community.
Reverend Nawandra says the issue has also come up during an informal meeting with Defence Minister Ratu Inoki Kumbombola.
My conversation with the Minister of Defence in his difficulty in seeing the rise of crime, and those that are perpetrating the crime in these days, as you have been highlighting, are no longer those that used to be the big boys, so to say.
Recent statistics about the age of offenders and the age of victims has also generated public debate.
Well, I think home is where it all begins, so they should up well from home.
The most important is awareness in schools and families. Parents need to make their children aware that they need to voice out themselves in things like this.
I think parents should give more time spending with their children. That is having a best family time together so that children know they are not neglected. And I think this is the best solution to the problem.
I think more awareness should be taken.
In one incident, a 12-year-old boy raped a 12-year-old girl, and the matter is currently before court. Tokas Rainima, FBC News.
National public consultations on the 2017 to 2018 budget will begin next week and run for 2 months. In only the second year, the Ministry of Economy is holding public consultations to hear from as many Fijians as possible on their areas of concern and how this can be factored into the budget, which will be announced in June. The nationwide consultations will begin in Lautoka on Wednesday next week and have been scheduled at various venues across the country. Consultations for students in high schools is expected to be expanded, and there will be consultations held at university campuses for the first time. Still ahead, manslaughter convict sentenced, and Commerce Commission lends helping hand to Samoan counterparts.
रोशनी है, हम लोगों में रहते हैं और मिर्ची एफएम सबसे बेस्ट स्टेशन है।
हमारा नाम मेसी है, हम गोल्ड टाउन तापुआ में रहता है और मिर्ची इज हॉट इन तापुआ।
Hi, we Bagels. We love Mirchi FM because it's hot.
निवेश तवरबा में रहता हूँ, सुनता है यहाँ मिर्ची एफएम is very hot.
Mirchi FM, it's hot.
A 22-year-old Nauruan student convicted of one count of manslaughter was sentenced to 3 years imprisonment by the Suva High Court this afternoon. Julian Henrik assaulted a 22-year-old university student, Sione Tufui, in a nightclub in Suva 3 years ago, which led to his death. Shireen Shivan reports.
22-year-old Nauruan student Julian Henrich on the 21st June 2014 went to the Dragons nightclub in Suva to enjoy with his friends. The brawl started inside Dragons nightclub when some Tongan boys had thrown a broken beer bottle at Henrich, which hit his head. A group of 12 Nauruan boys, including Henrich, then attacked the deceased Sione Tufui, who died as the result of injuries sustained. While sentencing Henrich this afternoon, Judge Justice Salesi Temo said he considers the fact that the deceased himself created the commotion. However, Henrich took law in his own hands and tried to resolve a dispute using violence. The judge said this is unacceptable as this has led to a family losing their loved one. Justice Temo said he has accepted the evidence of the nightclub bouncer who testified that he saw Henrich repeatedly punching Tufui. He says in doing so, Henrich was reckless and he continued to assault Tufui despite knowing the risks involved. Henrich has 30 days to appeal his sentence. Shireen Shivan, FBC News.
The first ever study of Fiji's informal fisheries sector is on the cards. Minister Semi Koroilavisau says there is little historical data on the number of fish caught, revenue earned and the impact on the economy. Edwin Nunn reports.
The big money in fisheries, according to the government, is in coastal fishing.
Our people are dependent on it. Areas all around the coast of Itileu, Nolebu, Taveuni, Kandavu, in the provinces and maritime areas. This area, actually, if you look at the monetary figure, represent more financial return, indirect financial return, than what we are generating out of the tuna or the offshore fisheries.
The ministry will make a budget proposal for a holistic study of the fishing industry involving small and medium operators.
The data is very intermittent. We depend on fishermen to provide us with the information. The collation of information from the areas around our coastal areas is very inconsistent.
Inshore fisheries has always been treated as a subsistence sector. Koroilavisau says the money is good, but now we are risking biodiversity if things go unchecked. The ministry will conduct a national exercise on which species are being harvested, the amount of sales, and which areas are vulnerable to illegal fishing. This data will then be used to try and better regulate inshore fishing. Edwin Nand, FBC News.
A delegation from Samoa is here to carry out a study on the functions of the Fijian Commerce Commission. There are plans to establish a similar model in Samoa, which is expected to strengthen ties between the two Pacific Island nations in areas such as trade and private sector development. Pranita Prakash reports.
The Samoan delegation is learning how to minimize the challenges on competitions and consumer affairs.
It is very likely that what we establish will not only be beneficial domestically, but also to our foreign investors, including Fiji and the region. This, we believe, will also contribute to the enhancement of regional cooperation and coordination.
Fiji's Ministry of Industry and Trade says this will not only benefit the country, but will also enable a fair market price.
It will lead to deeper regional integration. In this regard, we see this scoping mission by Samoa as an important step to increased regional cooperation in the area of competition policy.
The visit is facilitated by the Pacific Island Forum Secretariat. A fully fledged Samoan Commerce Commission is expected to start its operation by second quarter of this year. Pranita Prakash, FBC News.
There have been discussions with potential employers in New Zealand about more jobs for people under the Seasonal Workers Scheme. This was revealed by Minister for Employment Chonio Somate, who also met with current employers of the scheme who provided feedback on their Fijian workers.
In New Zealand, the cap now for seasonal workers is set around 10,500, and all of the countries in the Pacific are vying for a portion of that. In Fiji, our numbers have risen from around 30 to should be around 321 this year. And we hope to be able to make more opportunities available to our people in New Zealand and to further explore the opportunities in Australia.
Rachel is here now with the very latest from the world of business to start the week.
Good evening. Coming up in Business Tonight. RBF Governor post advertised. And in Growing Fiji, HFC to open in central Suva.
And later on in sports with Jamie, we have all the wrap-up from the Sevens.
I'm Rafnil from Nepata and I love listening to Today FM.
My name is Stanley Girdler and I'm from Australia, but I'm part Fijian from Watraki, and I love listening to Today FM Rocks.
For the best music and less talk, we tune into Today FM in Nasalai Village. Today FM rocks.
My name is Inai Ali and I'm from Ba, and I love the big breakfast on Today FM. I just love it and hope you love it too.
My name is Jay from La Paz. I love listening to Today FM. Today FM rocks.
My name is Naushin and I'm from Sambeto, and I love Today FM. Today FM rocks.
Today's hit music on Today FM.
In Business Tonight, the post of Governor of the Reserve Bank has been advertised. The current RBF Governor, Barry Whiteside's term is set to expire next month. FBC News understands Whiteside is considering whether to reapply for the post. The position requires at least 10 years of work experience with the tertiary level qualification relevant to the role. Under the Constitution, the Governor should be appointed by the President on the advice of the Constitutional Office Commission following consultations with the Ministry for Economy. Whiteside has been with the Central Bank for 40 years and took up the role of the RBF Governor in 2011. And now with a wrap on our South Pacific Stock Exchange, here's Savanatha from HFC Bank with the update.
Thanks, Rachel. On the local stock market, Freebird Institute Limited shares continued their increasing trend and gained a further 8.17%. They concluded the week at $2.25. Fijian Holdings Limited also posted a gain of 0.24% to close the week at $4.13. Vision Investments Limited shares, however, dipped by 1.92% last week and settled at $2.04. In terms of trading statistics, 28,587 shares exchanged hands, accumulating to $65,221 in 24 transactions. In terms of new investors, 7 new or first-time investors entered the stock market. 3 investors re-entered the market in a bid to increase their shareholdings as well as diversify their investment portfolios. Stocks targeted by these new investors included Freebird, Fijian Holdings, and Vision Investment Limited. That's a wrap from our local stock market, Rachel.
Thanks, Savanatha. On to today's exchange rates. The Chinese yuan and the American dollar both rose to close at 3.25 and 47 cents respectively. There was a contrast in our regional currencies as the Australian dollar dropped to close at 61 cents and the New Zealand dollar rose to close at 66 cents. While interestingly, after being very steady for the past few days, the Japanese yen dropped by 27 to close at 52.80. Onto the commodities market, oil rose by 56 cents to close at 53.33 a barrel. Gold dropped, closing at 1,226 an ounce. Silver rose to close at $17.96 an ounce. In Growing Fiji tonight, Suva's Ganila House is undergoing major renovation. The FNPF owns the property and says upgrade project is expected to be completed in the first half of this year. Refurbishment to the outside of the building and general fit-out are also planned. When completed, the complex will cater for HFC Bank and the China Community Outlet. And that's a wrap from the Business Desk tonight. Here with the latest in sports, Jamie.
Thank you, Rachel, and good evening. Up ahead in sports.
We have more from the Las Vegas Sevens. And youngsters ready to stamp mark in PRC. This and more coming up.
Well, TV Tarokuta, my Honokula and Rasa Lutoka, Duba Talitaka Navarro on a radio Fijuan.
Bulan Arango Fina, my Corviri Nandi, Auto Talitaka Navarro and a radio Fijuan, na Procaramu, Masmasu, and a Mataklai.
Oya Ochone Kurinambila, my Hunangoru, Namakete Hinga Tokapwe, do Talitakina Navarro on a radio Fijuan, Kenya and Domoiviti.
Na radio Fijuan, and Domoiviti in Vonga and BNN.
The Vodafone Fiji 7 side has moved up to second spot on the World Series points table. The silver medal in Las Vegas sees the Gareth Weber coach side overtake England on 83 points, with South Africa 24 points ahead on 107. England is 2 points behind Fiji on 81, followed by New Zealand on 71 and Australia with 52. USA, Scotland, Argentina, Wales and France make up the remaining top 10. Two players from the Fiji 7 side made the Las Vegas Dream Team. Nipi Jerry Tuwai and upcoming robust forward Mesulame Kunavula were named in the best 7 players of the tournament. Tuwai, as usual, played an impressive vital link for the national side, while Kunavula had an outstanding performance in only his second tournament this season. Meanwhile, Vatemo Ravavo was named the DHL Impact Player for the Las Vegas Sevens. Meanwhile, the Fiji 7 side edged New Zealand 19 points to 14 in the semi-final. Down 14-0 in the first half, Fiji fought back with 3 unanswered tries for another victory over their traditional rivals. Meanwhile, Fiji is grouped in Pool B with Argentina, Samoa and Wales for the Vancouver tournament. Series leaders and Las Vegas champion South Africa heads Pool A with England, Kenya and Chile. USA takes charge of Pool C with Australia, France and Japan, while New Zealand leads Pool D with Canada, Scotland and Russia. Youngsters Filimoni Savo and Frank Lomani are ready to stamp their mark in the Pacific Rugby Challenge. The pair were part of the national under-20 squad for the Oceania Championship last year and have now forced their way into the Fiji Warriors. Meli Tavanga reports.
The son of a former national sevens coach, this former England age group rep, says donning the Warriors jersey is a milestone achievement for him.
First of all, I want to thank the Lord for giving me the opportunity to get to play with the Warriors team, and I guess I'm very excited. I'm very excited. I worked very hard in the 20s just to come up to the Warriors and hopefully work my way up to the Fun Fijians.
20-year-old started his rugby career with the Suva Kachi side and never thought he would be rubbing shoulders with some of his mentors in rugby.
I'm rooming with Tonetendra Lulu. I've always watched him when I was little, and I've been in a room with him, sharing a room and learning things off him is quite a good experience. And I've also the senior players in the team, John Stewart and Ronnie Bosteri, they've been helping me out.
Like Savo, another debutant, young Savo lad Frank Lomani, says he has learned a lot from the senior players so far, which is helping him adapt to the senior environment.
I did not lose hope when I didn't make it to the Fiji Sevens final squad, and making it to the Warriors is something. And I've been training with experienced players in the squad, which I believe is a learning experience for me.
The two now will want to see whether the coaching staff give them a chance in the match day 22. But for the moment, it's all about learning from the seniors. Meli Tabanga, FBC Sports.
The Fiji men's hockey side has lost its second match at the World League Round 2. The Hector Smith coach side went down to host Bangladesh 5-1. Fiji's only goal was scored by Levan Datta. In its first match at the meet, Fiji lost 7-0 to Oman, and its next match is against Malaysia tomorrow. That's it from sports. Angie has your weather update later on, and in the world of the weird and the wonderful, a new type of racing car is making headlines. Find out more after the break.
I'm Andrea Sorbakroa of Nayabu Wendibuga Telebu. Whenever I want to tune in to listen to great music, I always tune in to my favorite
radio station, Gold FM, only the classic.
My name is Lita. We love listening to Gold FM here at the Fiji Hideaway Resort and Spa. Gold FM, only the classic hits.
We here at Tano Waterfront Lautoka love listening to Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Gold FM, only the classic hits.
In your media today, Snow is a Snapchat copycat app that's popular in Asia. And we join the lovely Angie now for the very latest from the weather world.
Hello there and welcome to the Weather World. Now you might be wondering, why is there so much rain? Well, we have to get used to rainy conditions now, as our forecast shows more rain will dominate this week, bringing wet and windy weather at times. But why? Well, this is due to a trough of low pressure that is slowly moving over Fiji. Now let's see what it was like in the west. It was mostly cloudy and there were a few showers in some areas, while Rekiaki experienced severe showers causing floods in low-lying areas. Eastwards from Pekapa to Suva, it was somewhat like the west. There were cloudy conditions with rain and more is expected for later tonight. And up in Vanvalevu, it was cloudy as well with few showers, temperatures at 31 for Lambasa, while Savu Savu was mild at 29. Tomorrow, spells of windy and wet weather is in store for us. Conditions will become increasingly unsettled, but it will not continue throughout the day. It will give us some break as there will be drier and brighter intervals too. For the temps, Suva, Lambasa and Savu Savu are looking a bit warm at 30 degrees. Looking further on to Wednesday, there will be some light showers in the Eastern Division. However, the North can expect persistent showers which can lead to flash flooding. At sea, northeast winds 10 to 15 knots with moderate seas. And to the tides, the next high tide tomorrow morning is at 1:47 with a low tide at 7:47. And that, Jackie, is rainy FBC weather for tonight.
It definitely is. Thanks so much for that, Angie. In the world of the weird and the wonderful, RoboRace has unveiled its first autonomous electric race car that will compete on real racetracks. Piloted by algorithms written by teams of software engineers, it is exciting times. With Las Vegas Sevens over on Fijian Pulse segment, we asked fans what they think of the team which played in Vegas.
I believe that this is a good team. The problem is that the boys cannot decide on how to tackle the pressure. Please maintain this team.
This team must be maintained just like the New Zealand team and South Africa.
Yes, I think it would be great if we did keep them to the sevens, and they did a great job this weekend, and I hope they improve and do better next weekend.
Yeah, absolutely. I think he doesn't have a choice. He really just needs to fix a few discipline issues and maintain the team cohesion, and he should be all right.
Why not? He should maintain the same squad that he took over to LA.
Recapping the main stories, Fiji Sevens team falls short again, losing to South Africa in Vegas final. Ethok's overseas get chance to upskill, and 2018 budget consultations begin. For these stories and others, you can tune in daily to our sister radio station Gold FM. To our poll question, and first the results from last week. We asked, are town and city councils doing enough in the fight against dengue fever? 88% of you said no. This week we are asking, will the new malls opening up create more competition? Visit our FBC website to answer. Before we go, today's shot of the day, this beautiful scene of Nandi was taken by Apanisa Veitala. Shows how beautiful it is to be in Fiji when the sun is out and the birds are chirping. Send us newsworthy pictures and videos on email fbcnews@fbc.com.fj or share it with us via Facebook page FBC News. Or you can also follow and tweet us your news tips at FBC_news or simply hashtag FBC News. Until next time, from the team and I, good night.
कमल रोशनी है। हम लोगों में रहते हैं और मिर्ची FM सबसे बेस्ट स्टेशन है।
हमारा नाम मेसी है, हम गोल्ड टाउन ताफुआ में रहता है और मिर्ची इज हॉट इन ताफुआ।
Hi, we Badals. We love Mirchi FM because it's hot.
निवेश तवरा में रहता हूँ, सुनता है यहाँ मिर्ची FM is very hot.
Mirchi FM, it's hot.